What's up, way up, Sportsman? It's Lamont. We back with another podcast episode. Salute to you guys for being here. Definitely appreciate it. We back with another reaction video. You guys see the thumbnail. Y'all see the title. We got to talk about it. Karceno4life is back at it again. He had a flawed prediction. He picked the Golden State Warriors to lose in 7 games to the Sacramento Kings. He bet money on it. He probably took a humongous L. And so now, because he took that L, he's trying to explain this to his community by saying it was all a big conspiracy against him. Man, I saw this video, and this had to be one of the funniest things that I've seen all year as far as just trying to explain why he was wrong. And this is just an example of, this is like kind of a narcissistic type of behavior from somebody that just can't admit they was wrong about something in regards to basketball. Look, I picked the Memphis Grizzlies to beat the Lakers. Look, y'all, I was wrong. Ain't no conspiracy about it. Ain't nothing. The only thing I could do after watching that series is just accept the fact that a team like the Lakers, they've completely made a U-turn. They are not the same team that we saw in the regular season. They much improved. They playing with a ton of chemistry. They're playing defense with all out fervor. You gotta give them their respects. And so now that the Golden State Warriors made the comeback from being down 2-0 to the Sacramento Kings, Karceno probably saw that, thought it was a betting advantage, as opposed to using his basketball mind and using basketball history. What does history tell us about the Warriors? History tells us the Warriors always win a game on the road. Eventually. History tells us they barely lose games at home. This is one of the reasons why the Golden State Warriors, even though they were a 6 seed, were an overwhelming favorite outside of the betting world. So I want you guys to watch this video. I want you guys to listen to this man's conspiracy theory about how Adam Silva planned all of this. So Karceno4life was aware of all of this. He was aware of all the back planning by the NBA and Adam Silva. He was aware of all these details, still made the bet for the Sacramento Kings, lost his money, and now he wants to blame LeBron James, Adam Silva, and the Golden State Warriors. Let's get to this video, y'all. This is absolutely hilarious. All right, we got the video right here. I'm just going to go ahead and just let it play. Right. Obviously, y'all know how we do with these reactions. We stop it. We start it. We talk about some of the things we hear, but I'm going to try my best to let as much of this play without interfering. But man, you guys, there's going to be a lot to digest, but it's also going to be a lot to talk about right here. Let me go ahead and let the video play.
For the league to screw over the Golden State Warriors. Not let the best team win. Not let's see who can do it. And this is a basketball game. This team here, they run the sets right. We know in our hearts of hearts what's going to happen. Yes, I wanted the Kings to win in 7. I bet it at the beginning of the season, at the beginning of the playoffs. I put the bet in. Why? Because I believed. Yes, I wanted it to happen really bad because I wanted some glimmer of hope. But Sacramento Kings is a bad matchup for the Los Angeles Lakers. That's why you didn't see it.
So he starts to kind of break it down right there as we pause it. So he says that the Golden State Warriors were prompted to win this series by the NBA because the NBA felt that the Sacramento Kings were too bad of a matchup for the Lakers. That's why. This had nothing to do with Steph Curry dropping 50. This had nothing to do with the Golden State Warriors being the defending champions. This had nothing to do with the Golden State Warriors just having a flat out better roster. This had nothing to do with the Golden State Warriors just being a much better defensive team. This was all, according to Karceno, this was all concocted by the NBA because the NBA felt that the Kings presented too many matchup problems to the Lakers, when it's actually vice versa. It's the Warriors that present more of the matchup problems, and the Kings would have arguably been the more favorable matchup, similar to the Memphis Grizzlies, a team that was younger, lacked the playoff experience. The Sacramento Kings would have brought those same flaws into the series against the Lakers. It would have essentially probably been the same thing. I don't get the logic. We're going to go ahead and let this keep playing because I really want him to explain more about this newfound conspiracy theory. Maybe this is information that he just uncovered within the last 24 hours and someone, his contact within the NBA didn't make him privy to these things before he placed his bet on the Sacramento Kings. I don't know. Maybe he can explain all of this. We just have to see when we play the video. Let me go ahead and get to it.
No, Mo. They will not win. The league wants their Lakers, LeBron versus Kevin Durant. So they can make it look like, well, he went against Ja Morant, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. They're trying to make all their money off these series. And they're using us as the gas. There it is. And when we get to the Patreon, buddy, you're going to know more about this. The man who pulls the strings. That's the one that's pulling all the strings. That's the man. As he sits in his chair looking like Professor Xavier. We're going to do a Patreon version to let you know the process in this. Why would he be sitting in that chair? Most of you guys have never, ever seen that room before in your life.
Okay. So he says that it was all a conspiracy concocted by Adam Silva. And he poses the question, why is he sitting in that chair? And also in this room. He said most of us have never seen this room. Actually, if you've watched an NBA game, you have saw this room. This is just the NBA replay center, you guys, in Secaucus, New Jersey. And this is the replay center that's used to help referees make the right call. That's all this is, which is why you see all of the video cameras, which is why you see all of the video editing equipment so they can go back, rewind, fast forward, zoom in on certain plays, help referees make the right calls, whether it's text, flagrants, out of bounds, things like that. And they can get the call right. This is something that they've been doing for the last few years. It's not nothing new. Why is he sitting in that chair? That's probably just where they did the photo shoot. If you actually Google search this image, this is just an image of Adam Silva. This was a GQ magazine photo shoot. There's nothing special about it, and there's no conspiracy about it. This picture was taken back in 2014. This is not a recent picture. This is an old picture. This is from a 2014 article written by GQ that had absolutely nothing to do with what he's talking about. I don't know. I don't get it, y'all. I don't get it, y'all. But maybe he has a better explanation for it than we do.
Do you know what room you're looking at? That's called the control room. And for a very good reason. That man has no imagination whatsoever. Adrian, you're very delusional. Warriors and Heat. You really think this is a basketball game, don't you? How many times have you watched basketball in high school? You ever watch college basketball? You ever watch basketball outside? Go outside and shoot a basketball at a rim. And tell me, do you think that ball, have you ever seen a ball go in like it does in the NBA? Have you seen the way the ball seems to go in on the NBA? It's like, for something that happens randomly, that seems to happen a lot. No matter what the speed of the shot or how the ball is going, the way it goes in the rim is very weird. It's like it's slowed down and pulled in. And then you'll see it like rattle a little bit and go in. It's like a slow rattle, like and go into the rim. It's not a net. Remember, people used to hit all net, like swish, swish. You don't really see too many of those anymore.
See, listen to this. See, this is where, like I said, this is like there are people in this actual chat that are actually going along with the things that he's saying as if these things are actually that have anything grounded in fact associated with them. This man just said, shoot a basketball outside. What? Like, no. He says we barely see players hit shots that are on net. I can swear we just watched Steph Curry completely obliterate the Sacramento Kings with a number of shots that went all net and didn't rattle in. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know where he's getting this data talking about the ball is slowing down when it gets to the rim. Guys aren't making it. He said it looks like the ball is getting pulled in. So he's going with the magnetic rim thing, the magnetic rim conspiracy. And so it's just funny to me. He has a full grasp and understanding of all these conspiracies, magnetic rims and potential matchups, and the NBA wants LeBron James to play Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. If you know these things, then why did you bet with the Sacramento Kings? Why did you go waste money if you know these things? And if you are so for sure that the Lakers are going to beat the Warriors, I compel Karceno, take $20,000 out your bank account right now. Matter of fact, just take everything you got in your bank account out right now and just go bet on the Lakers. If you were that for sure, if I had any type of insider information, as he claims, that there are magnetic rims creating some loopy conspiracy that's going to propel LeBron James into the Western Conference Finals, and I knew for certain that this is something that Adam Silva had concocted, I'm taking every penny and dime that I have, and I'm putting it on the Los Angeles Lakers, who are underdogs in this series. He won't do that. I think what he's doing right now is just like the majority of us who've seen the Lakers make a complete 180 in regards to how they're playing basketball. I think this is just his way of saying the Lakers are better than I thought they would be, and they're probably going to get to the Western Conference Finals, and they do have a very realistic chance of beating the Golden State Warriors. But as opposed to give LeBron James any credit, he's just preemptively saying that if LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers are able to beat the Golden State Warriors, it's because of Adam Silva and this magnetic rim conspiracy. It has nothing to do with shots. It has nothing to do with skill, practice, chemistry, camaraderie, coaching, right? Even though the Warriors yesterday, early in that game, missed a ton of free throws and upwards of over 10 free throws. Steph Curry missed again for the second game in a row, over 2 free throws. I guess the magnetic rim button in the control room wasn't working when those guys were shooting free throws. I don't get the logic. It's just funny to me how when LeBron James loses, it was because the other team was great and because LeBron James is horrible. But when LeBron James wins, is all of a sudden because of this wild conspiracy that the NBA only wants to see him move forward. And I just feel like if you're going to have this conspiracy narrative, you got to play it both ways. That means if we follow this conspiracy narrative, LeBron James should be 10-0. I mean, you would think if he's the golden boy of Adam Silva, if he's the golden boy of the NBA, why wouldn't they have propelled him to 10 championships? Why wouldn't they made him 9-1 or 10-0 in the finals? If he's this so-called golden boy of Adam Silva, where Adam Silva sits in the control room, pressing buttons, controlling the rims, deciding what shot goes in and what shots don't. And this is a grown man. Yeah, this is a grown man saying these things on a very public platform. And the crazy thing about it is there are grown people in that chat not calling him absolutely batshit crazy. That's the crazy thing about it. I'm surprised that people are actually in the chat actually considering this to be facts. But see, this only stems from people that have never picked up or done anything athletic in their life. There's absolutely no way that Karceno's picked up a basketball, competed, did anything. And he has one agenda. I mean, he spent so much time defending Kwame Brown from this so-called media that slanders athletes. But he spends so much time himself slandering and tearing down athletes. And for what? What's the end goal? What's the agenda? What's the point? All because you're mad because you lost a bet? Not a good look, man. Not a good look.
They're far few and in between. Why is that? Why the velocity of a ball seems to change now? For example, if I throw this remote here, the velocity, you know it's going to go with force. But if I throw the remote and it does this, and I'm using a proper force enough to make it go at a certain speed, that would look strange, wouldn't it?
Let's just talk physics and mathematics right now, okay? If, in fact, there was a magnet in the rim pulling the basketball into the rim, which means there would be additional magnets in the basketball to create attraction to the rim, which the rim also has magnets in it. That's an additional layer of force pulling the basketball. So if we actually saw a basketball that was shot increase in velocity as it was going towards the rim, that would be the argument that there would be magnets in the rim. Has anybody held two magnets close to each other and then let them go and they snap together? Because it's a force pulling them together. If there was a force pulling the basketball into the rim, you would see the basketball increase in velocity, not slow down. If there were magnets in the rim and the ball slowed down, that means you have a positive and negative end of the magnet, and there's a magnet pushing the ball away. But we all know that when you throw things, when you shoot a bullet out of a gun, when you throw things, just the sheer laws of physics and gravity is what makes it slow down. Like he said, when you throw a remote, it ultimately slows. There's only so much force you could put behind it until gravity and all of the other forces of physics slow it down and cause it to hit the ground. That's what happens with a jump shot. And so what he's saying absolutely makes no sense, you guys. If there were magnets in the rim, the basketball would increase in velocity. He's actually saying something that completely negates his argument, because he's talking on things that he knows that most of his listeners don't understand. Most of his listeners shouldn't even care to understand these things, because none of it makes any sense whatsoever. But it's a wild conspiracy. He's talking on things he doesn't understand. He's now talking on the laws of physics, which velocity and all these things, gravity, doesn't understand it at all. And now he's saying that the magnetic rims in the basketball and in the rim, they're making the ball slow down midair, right? And then slowly go into the rim. If it's off target, it's just going to make it rattle in slowly. That's what he's basically saying. As opposed to what if magnetic rims did exist, we would see the ball increase in velocity and go straight into the rim as quickly as possible. And that would look extremely odd. That would be visible to the naked eye, and we would be able to see that. Karceno needs to stop lying to the people, right? He needs to stop making up these things, because at the end of the day, all he's doing is just making up stuff about Adam Silva. He took a 2014 picture of Adam Silva from a GQ photo shoot, and he's of him sitting in the NBA replay center in Secaucus, New Jersey. And now he's trying to say that it's control room used to control whether shots go in or out. So I guess I would be safe to assume that the NBA used these odd strategies for any player that he wanted to win a championship, any team that he wanted to win a championship. It was all controlled by Adam Silva and this mysterious control room disguised as the NBA replay center. Come on, man. These, and this is why we label him a shock jock. Like literally. And then he's saying he's taking this. I think he said he's taking it over to the Patreon. Look, I'm not trying to knock the man's business, but if you buy that Patreon and just to go watch this video, you gotta be a damn fool. You gotta be an idiot. Like, what people are honestly, unless you're going over there for absolute comedy and to get some good laughs, there would be no realistic reason to go watch that video, because what more is he gonna say dumber than what he's already said? None of what he said makes sense. If you want to get technical and break it down with laws of physics, or if you just want to get technical and just break down the NBA, or if you just want to get technical and break down, if you know all of this is going to happen, why don't you just go ahead and bet with the conspiracy as opposed to betting against the conspiracy, which is even dumber?
There will be a Patreon version of this today. They didn't have this technology when Michael Jordan was playing. Sorry. Everyone's so focused on, we're going to get into the whole backstory on those, what's going on with the system and what are they actually doing back there. We're going to get into that. Trust me.
It's just baffling to me. So when Michael Jordan played, these magnetic rims didn't exist. Basketball and the shots were going in as he expected. But when he goes to his Patreon, y'all, he's gonna break down the science and technology being used, y'all. So this secret system that no one knows about, he has the inside scoop on. Somebody came and said, it's important that we let Karceno know this, because this is why he lost his bet by picking the Sacramento Kings to win in 7 games. This is why his bet went awry. This is why he lost his money. We're gonna go tell Karceno4life what's really going on and allow him to expose it on the Patreon. That's what's going on, y'all. That's what's happening. People in the NBA think they need to go. This is what I'm saying, y'all. Like I want to know, y'all. What do y'all think about this right here? I mean, like I said, I don't want to go too much into that. Like I said, we all know how ridiculous it sounds. Look, when you lose a bet, you lose a bet. How about we just say this right here, y'all? Look, a lot of people picked Golden State to beat the Sacramento Kings, right? Even though they were the 6th seed, a lot of people thought that the Sacramento Kings were going to be overmatched. Sacramento Kings, just like everyone expected, did not fold. They put up a great fight. But what did they do? They did what most young teams with no playoff experience do against veteran teams that have a ton of star power and playoff experience. They made mistakes late game, right? They turned the ball over. They took bad shots and they lost. They gave up a game on the road in the playoffs. Good veteran defending championship type teams don't make those mistakes. And that's exactly what the Golden State Warriors are. And at the end of the day, like I said, I want you guys, if you believe that the fix is in and that this is already decided by Adam Silva, I want you guys to start emailing me or hit me on IG with your betting slips to DraftKings, Underdog, all these places. I want you to hit me with your betting slips and showing me that you've completely emptied out your savings account to go bet everything you got on the Lakers beating the Warriors. Now, do the Lakers have a good chance of winning this series? Yes, they do. But it's an extremely tall task. Have the Lakers been playing a lot better? Yes, they have. But they still have a road to fight. Would it surprise me if they won this series? No. They are a much improved basketball team. And I just don't understand why it's hard for people like Karceno and all these other LeBron James haters out here with all these conspiracy. I don't know why it's so hard for them to just swallow their pride and just go ahead and say, dang, they really did turn this season around. Dang, they really went from starting the season 2-10 to not just almost becoming the 6th seed themselves, but getting into the playoffs, fighting through the play-in. And then once they actually get in, they're playing a team in the Memphis Grizzlies that a lot of people didn't expect them to beat. It's just time. Like I said, when we talk about, because Karceno's one of these guys, he's been a big defender of Kwame Brown, saying that people like Stephen A. Smith bashed him for absolutely no reason. I want to understand what gives Karceno this pass to bash players unabated for no reason, lie on players, lie on the NBA, try to act as if players like LeBron James don't work hard in the offseason. They don't put any real work, and all their success is tied directly to Adam Silva, who's pushing buttons in the control room, dictating whether the Lakers win or lose. But that's ultimately what he's saying. So it's okay to bash a LeBron and bash a Steph Curry. But then on the other hand, he's out there criticizing the Stephen A. Smiths and anyone else that says something positive about a LeBron James. But like I said, I don't understand the logic, man. But I want you guys spam up the comments. Let me know your thoughts about this particular video, man. That's Karceno4life. You guys make sure you go check out the video. I don't want to say he's a basketball content creator. I think he's just more so of an entertainer, and he tries to entertain as opposed to push facts about the game. But you guys, let me know your thoughts on this. Is the fix in? Will the Lakers beat the Warriors? Who do you have winning that series? You guys seen my community post. Go out there, spam up the community post. I'm going to be putting the poll out. I want to get your votes. And when we go live again, I want to talk about these things because, man, I just want to know why when things don't go the way certain people predict, why do they all of a sudden cry conspiracy? Why is that the narrative? And why do people like the Karcenos of the world, why do they struggle with just giving credit where credit is due? And when you talk about the Lakers this year, when you talk about LeBron James and how he's got that group to buy in and start playing a winning brand of basketball, why is that so hard to acknowledge? But it's FYF Sports, man. It's been another great podcast episode. Make sure you guys continue to check out our videos. We're going to do a ton of uploads this week. We're going to keep them going. We're going to be going live a lot more with our NBA watch party. So make sure you guys stay tuned to FYF Sports. But hey, y'all, it's FYF Sports, man. Another great podcast episode. We will be back with more sports and news. But until then, it's FYF Sports. And we out.
Man, I know you're not talking. Play the beat.
On it. Bitches in my room like I'm John Morant. Fuck a one, send her back. We got guns like Iraq. This bitch trippin', this a Rari, not no Pontiac. These niggas trippin', this ain't walk hard, this a pint of act. My grandma just spilled my double cup, now she getting smacked. I took a bean in the morning, I don't know how.